Hi, we're Matt and Logan.
And today we're going to take you along with us on Grinnell Glacier Trail, located in Glacier National Park, Montana. We cannot rave about this trail enough and want you to enjoy this trail as much as we did. We hope that giving you a first-hand encounter of its beauty will motivate you to give this very challenging but doable hike a try. The hike that we set out to do was Grinnell Glacier Trail. It is a 10-mile hike with an elevation gain of 2,047 feet. Now, based on what we read on the National Park Service website, we knew that we wouldn't get to do the whole entire trail and that it would cut off at about the 3-mile mark due to hazardous conditions. But don't worry, we have some other great options for you if you finish this trail but aren't quite ready to head back to your car.
So first things first, you're going to want to drive to the following address located on the east side of the park. With that being said, you do not need a reservation for this particular entrance as of 2024. No one was even at the entrance when we arrived at about 7 a.m. I do want to mention some of the road back to the parking is pretty rough and is composed primarily of gravel with potholes, but overall any vehicle should be able to access it. Once at the trailhead, you can jump right on the trail and begin the hike. The trail is very easy to follow and has signs posted at trail intersections so you don't get lost. They also have a map posted at the beginning of the trail in case you didn't bring one along. We always suggest downloading a map to your phone. We personally use All Trails or bringing one with you. Service is located or non-existent in most of the park, so let's head out on this beautiful day.
You will begin on Swiftcurrent Lake Trail, where you'll get great views of Swiftcurrent Lake on your left-hand side. On this trail, you will see another trail going towards the right that will say North Shore Josephine Lake Trail and Grinnell Glacier Lake Trail. Take this trail and continue on. You'll eventually come up on Lake Josephine on the left-hand side, which is what you'll see in this particular video. North Shore Josephine Lake is the trail we are currently on. It is relatively flat and provides some great views of the mountain ranges and Lake Josephine. You can also hear the howl of a wolf in the background if you listen closely.
Eventually, you will come to a fork in the road. If you take a left, you will continue on North Shore Josephine Lake Trail. However, if you take a right, you will begin Grinnell Glacier Trail. Go right, of course.
Say hello.
Hello.
At this point, the incline begins getting more intense and will stay consistent until you reach the end of this trail. If you believe the incline may be too intense for you, feel free to continue watching. You will be able to see some of the breathtaking views associated with this hike, and we include less intense trail alternatives later in the video.
Just hit 2 miles? Yeah, 2 miles.
We're having a good pace.
That was a 23-minute.
22 minutes miles.
There is an area coming up shortly in the video that we noticed a lot of people stop and take pictures at, and then they decided to turn back. If you don't feel you can complete the entire trek but still want some amazing views of Grinnell Lake, this is a great place to stop. We actually stopped on the way back down to get some pictures in this exact location.
This was a little surprise that we experienced on the way up. Bighorn sheep. They were amazing to watch, and we probably spent a solid 30 minutes just standing there in amazement. Plus, they were in the middle of the trail, so we had nowhere to go. In reading other reviews of this trail, this is not an uncommon experience, so be prepared to come upon these animals at any point.
That is like the coolest opportunity. Looking for a little bit.
We do want to add, always keep your distance with these creatures. You may be able to tell in the video that they started moving closer towards us, and we slowly backed up to give them more space. Eventually, they ran over to the grassy region to the right of the trail and cut in behind us to head back up the mountain. At this point, we agreed that we should probably continue up the trail in hopes of seeing them once again when we reach the top. It may be difficult to tell, but the other hikers on this trail were less than 10 feet from the sheep. If you notice, they were taking selfies and they had their back turned, and they weren't prepared in case one of the sheep decided to charge them. While the animals are normally docile, they can still be dangerous and cause injury. Please keep this in mind during your hike.
Look at his legs, his big feet.
Maybe got socks.
The views from the top were absolutely incredible, overlooking Grinnell Lake. Even better, we did end up seeing the bighorn sheep again, and they stayed in our region the whole time we were at the top. An amazing experience. My watch recorded that we traveled a total of 3.45 miles to reach the top, with an elevation gain of 1,033 feet, over 1 hour and 49 minutes.
As we previously mentioned, the rest of the trail was closed due to the conditions at higher elevations. The National Park Service had a sign posted, which stated that continuing on the trail was prohibited. When we initially got to the top, we could have easily continued, but of course we did not want to take any risks. About 10 minutes later, a park ranger arrived and said he was posted there to ensure that no one continued on the trail. He also disclosed that some of the areas of the trail are so treacherous this time of year that some people who had continued ended up with serious injuries or have lost their life due to falling off a land bridge that was covered with a thin layer of snow. So please be safe and always follow the posted signs that the National Park Service places. They know their parks extremely well and only do this for our safety.
Once we completed this trail, we headed back down the mountain. Eventually, you will come back to the fork in the road where you will be able to take two options. If you want to finish up, you will want to continue straight and head back the way you came. If you want a longer hike with even more breathtaking views, you will want to take a right at the sign that directs you to Lake Josephine, taking North Shore Lake Josephine Trail. Follow this trail until you reach the intersection for Grinnell Lake, which will be towards the right.
We highly recommend taking this trail as you will get an amazing up-close view of Grinnell Lake. This is a perfect place to relax and eat some lunch before venturing back out to the trails. While we decided to trek this hike after Grinnell Glacier Trail, you can also elect to take a scenic boat ride from the Many Glacier Lodge, which will drop you off less than 100 feet from this trail. If you elect to take the boat, your total hiking for the day could be just under 2 miles with mild elevation changes if you are able to obtain parking by the lodge. If you decide not to do the boat ride, the total length of the trail is 6.9 miles to Grinnell
I
Lake.
didn't like it. I was more than one hiker.
Since the start of Grinnell Glacier Trailhead, we have now went a total of 6.57 miles, with an elevation gain of 1,107 feet. This was over 3 hours and 17 minutes.
On the way out, you will proceed to the original intersection that you took Grinnell Lake Trail, where you will have the option to go back towards Grinnell Glacier Trail and continue back towards the start of the hike, or you can continue straight taking South Shore Josephine Lake Trail around the lake. We opted for the South Shore Trail because we wanted to see some new sights, and even better, there was no one on the trail. I will say this area is much more wooded than the other side of the lake, and you will have very limited views from this side. However, we still thoroughly enjoyed the hike, and we found this view to be one of the most awe-inspiring that we experienced at Glacier National Park.
You'll continue this trail and eventually come across another fork where you can continue on the trail or take a left on Swiftcurrent Cutoff Trail. Take this trail. While on this trail, you'll once again have the option to go straight or take a left over a cute little wooden bridge. Take the left and it will put you back out onto Swiftcurrent Lake Trail, where you'll continue to take a left around the lake until you get back to the parking lot. At the end of everything, we went a total of 10.29 miles with an elevation gain of 1,277 feet, with a total hike time of 5 hours and 33 minutes.
The hike that we set out to do was
Do you want to start over the whole thing?
Yeah.
Man, I did a really good intro too.
Sorry.